Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to AWS. For those of you that don't know, AWS stands for Amazon Web Services, and this is the rock star of cloud computing. Yes, it is the dominant player in the game. It is outgaining Microsoft Azure. The market value and usage is worldwide. I mean, you hear it everywhere. Advertisement, marketing. If you have a website that you log into, or an app that you're hosting for your company, that's 90% of it is probably on AWS. So let's look at the back end and see exactly how it's set up. In fact, we're actually going to go through and set up a virtual machine. Kind of like how we did in Azure several months ago, where I rambled on for like half an hour. This time we're going to knock it out in a couple minutes. To differentiate between the two, Azure uses resource groups for storing your virtual machines and your virtual networking, all of your hosts and your clusters and your SQL Server databases. All of that gets stored in resource groups, whereas AWS will use instances. So we're going to go ahead and create an instance and deploy that, and then shut it down and destroy it. So let's go to EC2. That stands for Elastic Cloud 2. We will be using Ohio, which is the AWS Eastern Data Center, one of them within the region. When it comes to cloud computing, the closer in proximity, the better the quality of service. So here was the instance I just created, and I was doing this for the previous video that I totally messed up, and I don't feel like going through and editing that right now. By the way, there will be music coming to a video very soon. Yes. So I want to go back home real quick and spin up a VM by going down here and selecting Launch a Virtual Machine, because I can spin one up in less than 2 minutes if I really wanted to, but we're probably going to take a little bit of time showing you how it's done. So here's all the machine images we have to choose from. We have Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Amazon's proprietary relational database system that includes Amazon Aurora, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, and SQL Server. Red Hat, OpenSUSE, back to the college days. Ubuntu, Microsoft Server, Debian, all the Windows servers. Yeah, so there's a number of images to select from. We're going to use free tier eligible because it's free. Why not? I mean, we're still paying for usage. So you're accruing cost by having this running, even though it says free tier eligible. I mean, that you still have to pay for using it based on, what resources you're allocating to it, and we'll go into detail on that. Probably not in this video, but the next one. So number of instances we're going to spin up. We're just going to leave it default for the time being. Now we can go in and change the settings in here and like configure our own network like we did in Azure, but we're not going to do that at the moment. We're going to click next and add storage. If we wanted to cut back on costs, we could go with magnetic. For now, we're just going to leave SSD. for solid state, and then we're going to click next. We're going to leave the tags default for the time being. We will create a new security group. And there was one option in, okay, so we will also open SSH in our firewall so we can access it remotely. And we will do that by by generating a key pair. So instead of choose an existing key pair, we will, create a new key pair, and we'll call this AWS key pair 4. We're going to download and save it to our desktop. You see I just did that one a few seconds ago. We will launch instance. So here we go. Before we can actually log into this instance, we need to generate the private key that we just downloaded. So we will go to PuTTY key generator. We're not going to generate. Oh, why did I do that? Doink. That's okay. I can just start a new one. So we're not going to generate. We're going to load. And then we're going to look for the key pair we just downloaded. And let's go ahead and create a password phrase. We will save the private key. And then close. We will go to the desktop, AWS, right click on key pair 4, the private key, and then load. It will ask me for the passphrase again. Very good. And we should see this being loaded right there. Okay, so if we go back to the instance. Oh yeah, some of this stuff you can probably see that you really shouldn't see, but I really don't care right now because I'm going to be killing it anyways. So the public IP address we're going to want to copy. We're going to paste and save this as AWS lab instance number 4. Now the user for this by default is EC2 user. So we're going to want to make sure that is specified. Save. And then once we double click connect, we're in. And that's it. So that is how you create an instance in AWS. So I'm going to exit. And we could do whatever we want with it. We could deploy a web app. We could create a web application using Django or Flask frameworks in Python. We could do a LAMP stack running Apache, MySQL, and PHP. I mean, we could deploy a Windows box and host .NET Framework and build a C Sharp app or an app written in C Sharp. The list keeps going. We'll do that. And I will further demonstrate how powerful AWS is. If you're in IT, you need to learn AWS. I mean, you just have to, because it is becoming that powerful. So that's it. I'm going to bed. Have a good night. Hopefully everyone drives safe to work tomorrow and enjoyed the snow day, and happy Martin Luther King Day. Good night.